Either you were not sleeping or you're calling my friend a liar. So which one is it?
I was asleep, if my memory serves me correctly.
So then my friend is a liar. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, what time frame are we working with here?
Oh shit.
I'm talking
Oh
about in the
shit.
live when they were saying that you were sleeping. And you came up
You
here
mean a
talking
little
about
bit
some,
before I
y'all done woke
eventually
me up
came
out my
on?
sleep for this, so we gonna talk about it now. That time frame.
Yeah, cause I'm pretty sure that like y'all didn't start talking about me when I like became conscious and woke up.
When you were
But were
Cause I
you
messaging
woke
me,
up
ever
and it was here for a little
unconscious?
bit
Is the
with me.
question. Were you ever unconscious? Is the question.
Yeah, I was asleep.
So
Like I
Bella,
was
apparently you're
asleep
a
and then I
liar,
woke up a little
Bella.
bit.
so
I woke up a little bit and was watching. I don't know how long I was watching, but I was watching.
you were
Um,
watching for a pretty good amount of time because when they were saying, I don't know where Carnage is, he said he was in the fell asleep and was not responding and went to the comments. You were messaging me about because I messaged you and I was like, hey, like Bex is talking shit about you. And
I
you
don't,
were
I
responding to
don't
me
know
and
how long.
actively. It was when
I
they were
mean,
saying that you dropped and fell asleep.
because I was asleep before I went up into the. Because I think I either fell asleep in a box or like I wasn't in a box as yet.
You were in the panel at
I
the time,
don't.
but they were
No, I
they were
don't remember
actively
that I
saying that you were
genuinely
in the
was asleep
comments.
at some point.
Yeah, they were saying that you were in the comments asleep, not responding because I was there for a little bit before I messaged you, and they were saying that they invited you up and they were calling your name, but apparently you were asleep, and then also messaging me.
Yeah. Okay. So when you messaged me, I was up, obviously. But before then, I was asleep. Discord, because of how I have my dorm set up, Discord notifications ring through my entire room. They go through my Xbox, they go through my PC, and they go through like the speakers I have under my bed. So Discord notifications usually wake me up. But
Liar.
That's a little odd.
I'm confused. That don't make
that
sense.
I have my that I have my Discord set up like that.
No. If you was directly responding right after y'all was messing each other, you wasn't falling back to sleep. You were up.
Yeah, because you had hopped up into the panel after that.
Yeah, I hopped up in. Okay, so the initial message that I got on Discord is what woke me up. And I think I don't remember exact specifics. I don't remember, but we went back and forth, and then I hopped up into the box to deal with everything that was going on. I don't know how long of a time period that was, but that is pretty much how that went down. Because I'm pretty sure, I again, I'm not 100% sure on timelines,
I mean, it
but
was
I genuinely was asleep.
maybe
Yeah, I
10
wouldn't be
minutes.
sure on timelines if I was lying either.
No, I have no reason to fucking lie. Like I don't care either way. I just remember being
If that's
asleep,
what
waking
every
up.
liar ever has said.
I don't know. I can't really prove that I was asleep. I don't really think there's a way to prove that, but
No,
I did get home and pass out.
Okay,
so
I have
how?
a follow-up question. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Shit.
Lead investigator.
Thank you. Bex, how do you feel about this information?
I don't really know how I should feel about it.
So do you think he was asleep?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This seems like a pattern, unfortunately. Did you and Bex ever talk after that
Not
long
the
or no?
pattern. Wow.
No, not really. I kind of am just disengaging from the whole thing.
Damn, so no
I've got a
talking
lot
on
of
the back
stuff.
end? What the fuck?
Yeah,
All
I
of
got
you
a
was
lot of
hollering
stuff
talk on the
going
back end,
on.
talk on the back end for you to not talk on the back end. This is crazy.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on in my real life right now, so I've just kind of been dealing with that. Hence why I've not been super duper active. But yeah, like I don't really care either way. If I don't think that me being asleep or not is that big of a gotcha. But that's me. If you think it's a big deal, knock yourself
I
out.
do have a
I remember being
I
asleep.
do have a question too, but not towards you, it's to Bex. But after the situation's wrapped up, from Bonnie.
No, go ahead with the question.
Bex, you said the other day that you never had any friends on this app. So is that correct, or did you say you don't have any friends currently on this app?
No, I didn't say I don't have any friends. I don't keep a lot of friends. I really don't. I did claim Cusp and Mimi as friends, and then obviously Officer fits in there somewhere. But I purposely keep a little bit of distance from people because it tends to be a little unless you are really secure. And after Ethy, I am extra careful, but before Ethy, I was careful too. I don't usually classify people as friends very easily.
Would you classify Carnage as your friend? What as well? Would you classify Carnage as someone who was your friend?
It's one of those things where Carnage was an associate that was around in the circles, but I guess I think a friend as a little bit deeper thing. That's not something I use lightly. So mutual, I guess I didn't mean it to be mean when I said it, but
he was an elevated mutual. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And Carnage, did you ever think that y'all were friends before?
I thought so, but it is what it is.
What is some of the reasons that you thought you were more than an elevated mutual? What was the actions y'all were taking as a mutual ship or?
Maybe this is a case of us using the language different.
That's
Because
what I'm
I was
asking you.
around
What made you believe that?
I was around a lot. We hung out a lot. We played games occasionally. I would classify that as shit you do with your friend. But again, if it's a term, if we're just using the term differently, then it is what it is.
So did y'all hang around? Y'all played the game a lot?
We played the game a couple times. We played squads with Andrew and Lost Ones. And he would be in the VC a lot if we were in VC, but there was always a group of people. I don't tend to spend a lot of time one-on-one with men on purpose, so everything was more group activities for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have friends that I don't hang out with one-on-one, but we hang out in groups because we're all friends. But again, I don't find this important.
Well, I could have thought at one point, and sorry, my memory might be wrong. Well, I know when you were arguing with Efty and you were calling him out for being not being a friend anymore, you were saying that
Ethy was a friend. I actually did consider Ethy.
Yeah, but you were saying at one point Carnage was a real friend, and kind of throwing Carnage in his
Sure
face.
was. She's lying in your
Hey,
guys'
hold on,
faces
wait a
right
minute.
now.
What the fuck up, Siren? Jesus
Stop
Christ.
lying in people's faces, Bex.
Easy,
You're
I
not
kind
cool.
of
Easy,
agree.
we are we trying to
I kind
roll
of
into
agree
it.
with Siren because Bex, at
Thank
one
you.
point, didn't you
God
refer
damn,
to
see?
Siren
Y'all
as your
know how
friend?
to lead
Y'all
to
don't know
a
how to
plot.
do
Y'all know
shit
how to lead up the shit. Y'all know how to make people say the answers that you want them to say.
And I was gonna
That's what I be
chime
saying.
you
Y'all don't know how to run
in.
fucking productions around this motherfucker. Siren, you gonna get the answer you want, girl. Just
Communicate
hold
with
on.
me then, Yanti. God, you gotta tell me this
I
shit
was
then.
trying to chime
Damn.
you in. If you would have
You should
came
have
up
been
on
up from the
mute, I would have.
beginning.
I didn't know what you
was
guys were
listening from the
doing.
window, so when you seen me come up here, you know what the fuck I was doing. Just
I
relax.
did not know what you were doing. Did not know what you were doing.
Read the room. Go back on mute.
And I would have chimed
Shit,
you
I'm only here for the
in.
tea, bitch. I don't do the other bullshit
All
y'all
right,
be
all
doing.
right, all right, all right.
That's
I'm
why
gonna
I
shut
brought
up.
up at the. God damn it! Fuck. Damn. But Carnage at one point I remember Bex was using that to using your friendship, y'all had it with each other, throw into each other's face. I mean, sorry, y'all
Apparently, that was
with
just
him.
an elevated mutualship. I don't know, man.
But I remember her calling.
What is the elevated mutualship?
Well, that's the word we just created.
I honestly don't know what any of this honestly, the whole situation is not something that is this fucking deep. I we were like he was part of my clique, part of the people who hung out. He was around a lot. It was fine. But the reason why I don't claim a lot of people is for exactly this, because as soon as they get mad, then they want to get on the app, say something that causes me a big issue, and then they don't want to confront what the fuck they called me, and they want to play it like it's no big deal. If you're going to sit up here and you're going to tell me that Carnage has told me I'm a racist because I'm nice to Heifer, because I'm not mean enough to Heifer, whatever it is, and you told me that the issue with me is that I'm friends with a racist, and then you call me racist, and the rule is don't be friends with racists, and I'm a racist, then we shouldn't be friends. There's no more conversation need to have. I heard that loud and clear. I got it.
Okay,
I
you're welcome. But that didn't answer. Yeah, that didn't
I
answer my
tend to not
question.
hang out with people who who make my life harder on the internet. You know what I mean?
Well, that's,
Okay, Carnage, maybe you can answer my question. What is an elevated mutualship?
Why you asking me? I don't know.
he doesn't determine that term, money. That was Bex.
That's not my
That's when I was
term.
asking her.
Oh, I mean, I heard. I'm sorry. Okay.
Just saying, like I will say I have a Discord. I have a environment that is my space, right? I consider the people that are in my space special, but I don't consider all of them like actual friends. Do I use the word friend loosely on the internet?
What's
Yes,
the difference
because it's
between
easier.
a friend? Okay, you said you and Ethy had a friendship.
Yeah,
What
so
was the
Ethy
difference
knew
what was
stuff
the
about me.
difference?
Like
What was the
we
key
had
differences between your relationship with Ethy and your relationship with Carnage?
So you don't even consider Moon a friend?
Why are you bringing other people into this? This is not about you at all, and I don't need your input.
Well, I'm just curious because in
People
another
who
Discord
are
I see that he made a I'm
right.
speaking.
I
He
don't
made
care.
a
You're not
comment
part of
that
this.
he's your friend, though,
This
right? But you don't
conversation
claim
is
him as
not
one.
about you,
So it seems
Siren,
But
and
okay, but
nobody
Moon
Call
is
me
cares.
irrelevant because we ain't
Bex.
talking about Moon though. So we don't really
Nobody's
care. I don't
talking
know
about
what the fuck
Moon.
that
And
is.
me
I'm
and
talking about
Moon.
Moon.
Yeah,
We don't
nobody
really care
cares.
about that though, because that's irrelevant to this situation. We got to keep it on these two, girl. Again, you don't know what the fuck you doing. Let the pros handle this one, girl. You gonna get your W at the end. Just relax.
Okay.
Shit.
Wait, hold on. If that's the situation, then y'all can have at it.
No,
Thinking
it's not
No,
like that. But we're
I'm just.
saying
I have two more questions, honestly. I forgot them. Go ahead, child.
no, I was saying it's not
Orange
like
pissing me
definitely
off.
like that. It's just like what she I mean what we're asking just follows what she's been saying. That's all it is. But I am curious. What is the key differences, or like what was the difference in activities, or like conversations you would have between someone like Carnage and someone like Ethy, who Ethy you said was a friendship, and Carnage
honestly,
was
it does not matter. Truly, I'm not sitting here so Siren can fucking get off on this shit.
damn it.
I'm gonna
I've
drop your comments.
I've actively been trying not to give people fuel to use against you. I've literally not been here, right? Like, if I was trying to make life harder for you, I would be up in Andrews talking shit, but I'm not. I don't understand how I'm making your life harder on the internet. I don't know what more I can do. I'm literally not fucking here.
Getting on a panel and calling me a racist because you're mad at Memphis makes my life harder.
Bex, would you say that like doing actions that come across as racist separate of me would make your life harder? Or am I just
So here's
Is
the
that
thing,
what you
right?
think?
Here's my thing. You were mad at Memphis for doing something. Your initial issue with me was that I did not block Memphis because I was not paying attention. Instead of having a conversation with me, I'm still talking. Instead of having that's what you told me. Instead of having a conversation with me about it, you then came on here and called me a racist. Fine, think what you want, right? But at that point, I took note as to what you thought of me, and there it is. Like, I'll be a racist. It's fine. You want to think I'm a racist? Okay.
I do want to ask officers questions out loud, because that was actually a really good question. I feel like, what actions separate of Memphis did Bex do? And then once you answer that, I do have a follow-up question about Memphis, but I may save that to the end because this has been on my brain for a minute now. But yeah, what actions separate of Memphis did Bex do? Sorry, I'm elevated.
in what context? You mean for our entire elevated mutualship that got under my skin?
Anything outside of being inherently
Stop
racist.
fucking saying that term too. Y'all about to piss me off.
Sorry.
Shit's not even.
It's just some of the actions are like, I don't know. There was a time that I feel like I gotta bring up a whole set of shit. Let me try to find words to generalize.
Let me ask this. Whatever
okay,
you're
go
about to
ahead.
bring up, have I ever been told any of it? Or is this all about to be brand new information to me?
No, I've brought stuff up to you before.
We'll see. Okay, we'll see. I'm
Okay.
gonna call you out if you say some shit that I've never heard about before.
All right. So one of the things that stuck to my mind, was the Neo Schmatzi that came up on your panel that one time, and you weren't paying attention to the live at all, and guy was just going crazy for about 2 hours, and I was a bit upset, and you didn't handle that conversation very well. And the day after, I was like, yo, I came at you a bit heated, but I would still like to have this conversation. You were just like, okay, and hand waved it off. And like, that didn't sit well with me, but that was something light.
Are you talking about the day the officer and Shawnee Boy were on the panel and they were arguing with him?
We all were arguing with him, yeah.
Right. So I was asked to let them argue. And they argued with him.
Yeah, but then it was like played out a decent time to it. But you weren't there to hear that. I'm mad that you kept
I
him on
was there.
the panel.
I was asked to let them argue with him. By them.
Okay, never mind. I may be thinking of a different situation because I remember everybody was a little bit frustrated
Well,
with
you
that
seem to be
situation.
the only one who told me about it because everybody else was like, and yeah, and then when they were done, they said, okay, now block him and don't bring him back, and I did.
Yeah, that's not my memory of everything, but sure,
Officer
it is what it
literally
is.
just said it in the chat. Because Officer was there the entire time. He's basically my co-host.
Wait, so there was a. In my gang, there was a racist man on a panel.
But there's a guy, I believe.
I got beef with my girlfriend because we got an argument.
I believe he's talking about Duel Up, and there was a series of conversations and arguments prior to this, and he got on my panel, and they wanted to argue with him. So
Who
they
are
asked
they?
to
Who's
argue.
they?
Officer and a couple of the other guys who freaked.
Yeah, that was either the conversation after the one I'm talking about, or
He was only on
you
my
guys
panel
had
one
interacted.
time.
No, I remember. Then it probably wasn't him. Then I don't remember exactly what it was.
Duel
But
Up
it did
is
sit
what
with
you're
me funny
talking about,
because-
where there was like a long interaction that you were irritated by. Was that interaction where they asked to argue with him, and then they asked for him to be blocked, and I blocked him.
Because if it was a case that, because again, I have a brain in my head. If everybody was like, let's have that conversation, I would not have been mad at the conversation being had.
Okay,
Like,
but what you're
if
bringing
it's a
up.
case that I'm annoyed at something, I will just leave. I will not like
But
wield
did
my
you leave?
annoyances.
But
towards
did you
people's
leave, or did
direction.
you stay on the panel the entire time?
No, I stayed on the panel because I don't remember why I stayed. I don't remember exactly. I remember that he was there. I was going to kick him and was told not to kick him.
Right, because they wanted to
I
argue.
don't remember the specifics. I remember the conversation. I remember the conversation after that we had that did not go well because I was pissed.
Right.
I came in hot. And then we had a conversation, you kind of hand waved it away, and I just kind of let it slide.
So there seems to be a pattern here. There seems to
but
be
it's a snowball effect of like all these little things.
Right. So
like,
but the pattern so far is that someone else does something in a space where I have mod or am hosting. You get mad, come in hot at me, right? I don't handle it well because it's like I'm not going to take responsibility for someone else's actions.
Yeah, I think I've come at you like heated twice during the entire. I think
it's been more.
I've known you. It's been twice to my memory. All right, I've probably like I don't. It's very hard to get me frustrated to the point I'm coming at somebody yelling on the internet. I don't really care 99% of the time.
Would you say you're frustrated now?
No, not really. I'm talking pretty normal.
Okay.
Officer
Like,
said Bex was told to block him after in a group conversation with all parties, and she did. So, just to pause really quick. So there was assuming a harmful individual on Bex's panel. A group of people wanted to argue with that person about the harm that they caused. Bex said, "Okay, y'all argue." After the argument was done, he was dropped
blocked.
and then blocked.
Correct.
That's not how I remember those events going down.
That's
but
how
I
everything.
don't have any proof of this, so
Were you a
I
part of
can't.
the argument, Carnage, or were you?
Yes,
just-
I was on the panel. I remember being on the panel. I remember being there, arguing like history with this guy, getting frustrated, being like, "All right, we've kind of," because he started to repeat himself. I was like, "Yeah, we could drop this guy."
All right,
I was getting no response.
What happened to your account? What's the difference from what Bonnie just said to your account situation? You just don't remember.
That there was a yeah, because I'm not finished. Like, I remember I got into a conversation with Bex and Bex left. Bex left the call, and then I remember having a conversation with
So
Effie after.
it was a call
Effie
after. So there was a call after.
There was a call after, but it wasn't a group call. I was not included in
Call.
the
It was a
decision making.
VC. There was no phone call. It's a VC.
Yeah, you know what I
I
mean.
got you. VC call same thing.
Sorry, I didn't. I thought everyone would have gotten that. My bad.
So there was a VC that you was in with some other people after Memphis was already.
No, it wasn't
dropped.
some other people. I had asked Bex to go into the VC because I wanted to talk about the situation at hand. That didn't last very long because Bex got frustrated. So we usually after like we would go into the
Right, but I had just
to the
hosted like a long ass live, right? Where I
Yeah, but
had
we usually
information.
would go into there.
Hold on. Where I had information from people.
Y'all, wait, hold on, because y'all gotta let people actually finish, because he hasn't finished nothing. Like, can y'all talk one at a time?
Yeah, okay. This was during the time you would usually hop into the VC. So I didn't call the VC. That's wrong. I'm correcting myself. You went into VC like you usually would, because we usually would go in after and shoot the shit for like an hour and everybody would go to bed. Right? Or I would yell at Effie. Just this time, I was a bit aggravated at how the conversation went, and I was like arguing specifically about mod things. Right? I was like, yo, like, you say not to kick people, but this guy was just being harmful and repeating himself. And yeah, I came off a bit frustrated because I was frustrated. This is just one of like the many things, the many actions, right? Like there's a bunch of arguments that you engaged in that I felt a bit icky about. Like it's just a bunch of stuff built up over time that led to me having the opinion that I have. And like the opinion that I have isn't even like really scathing. Like you are making it way worse than I have it in my head. I don't think that you're Memphis level like
Right, but
racist.
can you
I never
give me
said
a time
that.
where I did something that was racist.
Okay, so I was explaining to you the struggles that I had academically as a black man trying to like reach a high level of academia, and I was told, what you drew some similarity to like sexism, and it felt very dismissive, and I kind of just let that slide because it didn't really make a lot of sense.
I'm going
from
to
an
need
argument
more
point of view.
information on this. You can't just like throw out a very generalized statement because I have no idea when or what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't have like direct. These are all like it's a bunch of different arguments we've gotten into over the past year that has led to this built up. Like I don't understand why. Like I don't think that these specifics are even like really important at the end of the day, because like you are the one who said like we weren't friends like that. So like it is what it is. Like I don't know why we're out here trying to break down this whole thing. I do think that you have overhyped what I said. Or you're conflating what Ashley said with what I said. I
But
specifically said,
didn't you go to Bella to tell her how horrible I was?
Hold on.
that's not what happened.
That's not exactly how that happened.
That's not what happened.
Watch the live
happened?
where
I was like,
I
are you
watched the
serious?
live where you went and told that like where the DMs between you and Bella came out. Like I heard that whole conversation.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. He came to me as someone who is not inside of your friend group and expressed like, Carnage, were you upset when she brought the stuff about what Effie has said to her back whenever we were trying to address the racist shit that Memphis was doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was like the actions that were coming out, I was like, yo, is this only something I'm seeing? Right? I need somebody who isn't in the friend group and I need someone outside of me. And again, I've apologized for that. Like that was fucked up to do. I should not have done that. Number one, I included somebody random into the shit. I should not have done that, and I've also should not have broken confidentiality with your stuff. It's not something that I do, but I was fucking going insane.
Which,
But again,
to be clear, like broken confidentiality makes it sound like you were telling me shit about her, which is not true. We talked about the Memphis shit because he brought that to my DMs, asking me, and yeah, I expressed my opinion, but it's not about talking about how horrible you are. That it's not about that.
yeah,
You two
but I
had a
shouldn't have
problem.
brought it up to an external source, is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like even that was still bad on my part. It's not something I would usually do.
Nigga, are you scared to say what you mean? How you feel?
Huh?
Sophie, your mic was muffled.
Are you scared to say how you really
Sophie, you're
feel?
muffled.
Nah, it's just
God damn, I ain't
some
never
people
seen
just
someone
word this
beat
shit a
around the
little bit better
bush
than I
so
do.
much. God damn.
Or there's nothing to be said, and I didn't even want to say that, but I have to, because I haven't heard from this live, the previous live before that, anything that Vex has actually done that has been like solely Vex's fault. For you to call her, or for you have to been like so upset with her how you were last week, and I really did not want to do this. I thought it was going to be the other way, Carnage. I really did, but you are like disappointing me.
No,
Because I can tell you right now, honestly, it won't take me less than 2 seconds to tell you something Bex has done that I would consider to be racist or microaggression towards Black people. She actually talked about it, or Joy talked about it in the live earlier today. It's like that. So like I feel like when stuff is being done to you, like it shouldn't take long for you to be like, yeah. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, that's it right there. Like it's always it's this particular thing that like it's never act like, I don't know. It's weird to me.
No, it's because I got like a shit ton of stuff. Like a bunch of really heavy shit happened within a short time span. So this is really at the back of my mind.
You a single child?
No, I have an older brother, but my brother's way older than me. So
Makes okay.
And it's not a scare to talk. It's not a scare to talk when he like it's. You can't be a scared to talk when you said the same. Like you said it with your full chest on this very platform, this same panel, that she was the racist that she is, and that's how like you stood 10 toes on that with your full chest. So if you were able to say that, I feel as though the loudest way you was able to say that, you should be loud and still with saying why you feel this way. But if things aren't going on with you, then that's fine. Maybe you don't need to be up here at all.
Yeah, I would have like, honestly, I'd have a list of stuff because it is like there's stuff like Hypha would say something fucking crazy and like I'd be mad at it, but like it would just be like a lot of shit that like is just a regular annoyances, just things that were allowed in a space where I feel shouldn't have been allowed. Stuff that was co-signed that should not have been co-signed in different arguments, but I just don't see any of this really as like an important discussion because I was expecting friendship from someone who didn't classify me as a friend. So this is my fault. Like I was the dumb one here.
But you seem pretty upset about it, so how is it not important?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had time to fucking deal with this shit. Like I would be upset and I'd be mad if this was like stuff my friend was doing to me. You know what I mean? Like I expect a certain type of behavior from someone that I would classify as a friend. But if they didn't see me as a friend, there's no.
But you thought she was your friend, so that doesn't even make sense.
I thought so until that conversation came out where she was like, "Yeah, we're not friends." Then like I sat down and was like, "Yo, like would I expect this from somebody who was just like happened to be on a panel with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, nah, I would not expect any form of fashion or anything. Like I can't be really mad. I'm not justified to be mad."
What are you mad at, nigga? Like, what are you mad at? What are you mad at? What are you mad at, nigga? God damn, what is the issue? Like, what? Give me something. God damn.
I'm not mad at him. I resolved the issue like on
What
my own.
what
Like
were
I'm
you
not
upset at? What was the?
I was upset.
I mean, I'd be mad if somebody said they was my motherfucking friend. I'd be mad at
yeah,
that.
but like, what is there? What is
And I think he
there
thought Bex would stand up for him more than what she did for Memphis. That's all it was.
I want him to say it. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't saying no
I,
ugly shit. Like,
I mean,
That's what it comes down to, right? You viewed Max as a friend. She viewed you as a mutual. So, from your point of view, you expected somebody to
oh, your
be more
service.
vocal when you were being like a target of
Your
racism.
service. Your service.
oh, you're my
Breaking up.
Your surface is nervous and if we can't hear nothing you're saying.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
Okay.
Oh, you
So
heard that?
basically,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You came
What you
real
said?
clear through when you were saying shut up.
Fuck all of you.
okay, we heard that one too. So basically, Carnage, you upset that you thought she was a closer friend than what she was, and she thought she was going to defend you for someone being racist, and she didn't do it to your standard, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Sorry, the straw that broke Heifer's back.
I guess you could word it up to that.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, I don't. It's not a level thing. I don't really care anymore.
No, the docket level thing was you pretending like you was asleep. That was a docket level thing, and then we spiral into this. I still, if we want to go back to that, we can because I don't believe that you were sleeping. I think you were avoiding the conversation how you have been. But I did really quick, Bex. I do think you also lying by saying that you didn't consider Carnage your friend because I feel like I've been in live before where I've heard you consider Carnage a friend, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, my feelings would be hurt too if I heard my friend consider me a friend, and then like the moment we fall out, it was like, no, we weren't even friends like that. So I don't understand why he's so upset. Like I'd probably be on your neck about that more than I would be about Memphis, honestly.
And that's fair.
Yeah, like that. I feel like if that's the argument, then that should be the argument, not the other shit, because you not making no sense and you not even adding no type of substance to what the fuck you saying when you talking about the other shit you talking about.
That is just okay.
What's up? You want to speak up?
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
No, I'm curious. What's on your mind?
Yeah, nigga, speak. You gotta, nigga, speak. Spit it out. You gotta.
No, I was just reiterating that like I could have given you a more precise list of shit, but again,
Okay, Carnage. Again, you didn't give us a precise list of shit before you left. You went on your little hiatus for a few days ago, right? You got the same answers you had a few days ago, right? You got the same answers you had a few days ago. Okay, so if we didn't get it then, we damn sure ain't gonna get it now. So like, relax, okay? Thank you.
And you like,
Clutch from the comment says, can you ask more about comparing the struggles of young black students to women? We can't ask if he can't remember what the fuck the situation was.
okay.
Let me just respond to that because there is a thing. I do speak up far more on feminism and women's issues because I'm a woman. But I don't I try to take a backseat to other people when it's racism because I don't feel like it's my place to talk over anybody, right? Me talking about women's issues is one thing because I'm a woman. But if there is someone else to confront that conversation besides me that is willing to do it, I'm not going to speak over them in that conversation because it's not my place as a white woman. If I have to jump in, I will.
I remember
Wait, hold on, Bex. It is your place as a white woman to correct other white people. Absolutely,
Yeah.
actually.
Right, but
It is
not to speak over certain people, right? Like if there's people.
So I'm so sorry, Bex. I'm so sorry. When these conversations happen, you absolutely are supposed to check other white people. And if you are checked and saying, hey, I got this, then it's like, okay, you can take a step back and let them handle that conversation. But so my question to you is, do you actually believe that white people are inherently racist?
Yes.
Okay, so is your bigger issue the fact that Carnage went into my DMs talking about you to me?
Oh no, I don't.
Okay, so
and
so then why
I don't even
is
care
it
about him calling me a racist? Honestly, I just want an honest answer as to what it was because to me, this is not about me or what I did. It's about Memphis and the fact that I didn't take action there. And when I have asked in the past in these kind of conversations what I did, it is always me having someone else either on my platform or on a panel where I have mod powers. And that's so this is not a matter of me having an issue with any of this. I cannot get I have not been able to get real answers out either in these conversations. It always goes like this.
So what I'm going to tell you as from someone who has watched these conversations, and that is actually something that I've expressed to you, like, damn, Beck, speak the fuck up, is you have every right to check other people who are being fucking racist. But the moment that you get checked and are told, hey, I can speak up for myself, that's when you stay on mute. Until then, and until you are checked and saying, hey, I got this, to someone who is part of the Black community, you speak the fuck up and you continue to go at that person. Why do you think I get so much shit? Like, so many different people who are so annoyed with me because it's like every little thing you have every right to call out. And Carnage, I'm not going to speak for you, but this is my perspective from our conversation. That was the problem. That, to me, is what was fucking racist, is that you're not speaking up and saying, I'm away from my phone when Memphis is doing all these racist things. Sorry. Like, everyone on the panel who was a mod should have handled that. Yes. But when you are his friend and you're staying on mute, not defending him, that's the issue to me. That's how I saw that. Carnage, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, and
look at the answer.
this is a common running problem because I remember the conversation we were having now. I was in a conversation with Thumb, one of the Republican regulars in Bex's space, and we were going back and forth about just racism and how it presents itself. And I was talking specifically about academia, how like being from a quote unquote third world country is incredibly difficult. I've gone to places where like my parents pay for me to go and they shovel me into like the scholarship charity kid section because of the color of my skin. They assume I'm not supposed to be there. Like, I'm talking about like these direct experiences that I have. And the response to that was like, well, women. And I remember specifically not letting you finish that because I was like, that's not the same thing. You can't compare those two things because they're Black women.
Fine. If you don't have any memory of that, take you bringing up the shit that Ethy said to you whenever he's trying to address the Memphis shit. Those situations when someone is addressing racism, it is not the time to interject your experience over someone else who is experiencing fucking racism.
Okay.
That to me is the issue. Carnage, again, anyone else can fucking correct me, but that was what was racist in that moment.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
What it boils down to over a course, now correct me if I'm wrong, Carnage, what it comes down to is over a course of a long duration, there were examples of not being defended in moments of you receiving like racist remarks or something. Is that what it comes down to?
There were consistent. Yeah, there was consistent times where like we would be having a conversation with someone and it's going about the way of like invalidating my experiences. I remember people in the Discord being like, you don't know what racism is. You're from such and such a place. You're from Barbados. You don't know what you're talking about. And that was just something that was fucking loud. It wasn't just Ethy. It wasn't just Ethy saying that nonsense. I've had it said to me like multiple times. Thumb has said it. Like, majority of the Republicans in the space have said it to me, depending on what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. I feel like there are certain, like, I'm not expecting you to jump up and like yell, scream, and shout, right? But it was just quite frustrating for all of these things to like happen. And like I respond, and like my response gets like semi-policed, where it's like I need to be nicer to people and stop calling people stupid.
The only time I ever policed your response was the one time that you continuously called Ethy stupid, and I said, "Can you please stop calling him stupid? He's in my DMs freaking out." I've never policed your responses to them. I've never like the Republicans in my Discord get the smoke all the time. I mean, it's kind of unalive now. No one's in there anymore because it's turned into messy shit. But like, I never stopped anyone from arguing. The whole point of the Discord was arguing. I know the only time I ever asked you to stop doing anything was the one time that Ethy was like flipping the fuck out on me over you calling him stupid. And I asked you to stop calling Ethy stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, that still sticks in my mind though. Because like Ethy was saying crazy shit to me up to that
Why
point.
wouldn't you just tell Ethy to shut the fuck?
Because I was trying to maintain a space where people all wanted to be there and people were starting to like not want to come in the VC and whatnot. And I asked him gently, nicely, to please not call Ethy stupid.
What is the crazy shit I do?
Oh, I could give you a list. So we had a 2-day argument about Kanye not being a schmatzy. And the argument ended when he released the HH song. If you know about that, that's when it officially ended. I played the song in the Discord. He was like, "Oh, okay, I can see." But it was 2 days of me showing him like all of the crazy merch, and he's just like, "No, he can't be a schmatzy. He's black." He said that he knew more about black culture than I did because I'm not American.
So this is all Ethy. This is not me.
Yeah. Nick asked what was the crazy shit Ethy was doing, so it was answering this question.
I'm just confused.
So Bex should have kicked Ethy off the panel because he didn't think.
Yeah, like what did you
that's not what I'm saying. Did
you want me to kick the Republicans out of the Discord?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, yo, like crazy shit was being said, and I would assume that you would have been like, "Hey, now, that's not a fair comparison," or like, you know.
So do you feel like? Wait, so do you feel like she was correcting you more than she was correcting them, or something?
Yeah, I felt like there was some correction going on with me, but
I corrected you one time. You're acting like I constantly came down on you.
No,
I most of the time in the VCs, you and Ethy argued, and I would just be on mute playing my games or dealing with the kids.
Yeah, there have been times where like, and I gave you the benefit of the doubt because it's probably just a timing thing, right? Where again, I don't remember exact arguments, but these are all things that I remember. You saying stuff.
But
that
you
bringing up arguments that weren't analogous, and me having to say, "Yo, that's not really an analogous thing," and it came across as like a little bit offensive. But I was like, "Yo, we can have a conversation about that later," because like I just don't think they get what they're saying when they bring that up. But that conversation never happened, and then it spiraled into like you doing the thing with Memphis, where you're like, "Nah, hold on. I know that like Memphis did something fucking crazy, but where do we draw the line?" And like you're
like, am I crazy or like this feels more personal than like about racism to me? Because like, for example, you were in Andrew's live today and Memphis was in there, and like if Memphis is so harmful, why were you in Andrew's live while Memphis was there? So
Nick, it is
so like you're participating in another
friendship we're talking
space.
about.
I was listening to the live. I didn't even know Memphis. Memphis was not in a box. I was listening to you and Nick go at each other. Sorry, you and Andrew go at each other.
This is jealousy is what it is. It's jealousy at the end of the day.
It's what?
Jealousy. It's the fact that he viewed somebody as a friend, and every time that he received racism or racist remarks, nobody stood up for him. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like he was being told to be correct or whatever, but not as much as like, or more than like the racists actually being told that they need to stop. It was like, Carnage, can you please just stop? So
Can we ask the host, how did he get jealousy out of that though? I'm curious.
I yelled at Ethy far more in that Discord, far more than I ever yelled at Carnage. I yelled at Ethy every fucking day. Carnage asked me to talk to Ethy. I talked to him multiple times. Honestly, I should have nipped you and Ethy even talking in the butt way earlier, because all of this is all like you and Ethy's personal issues that is like being taken out on me. You guys had beef. You guys went at it. Now I didn't get involved. If you ask him, I didn't get involved enough with you. If you ask you, I didn't get involved enough with him.
It's not beef when it's racism, though. It's something different.
And I understand that. And he's acting like I stayed quiet. I very regularly participated and called out the racism. Like the fact that this is being like acted like I stayed quiet all the fucking time is crazy to me. And I'm actually like a little offended, Carnage, at this point. Memphis cannot be here. I don't know why he's in a fucking box right now.
Why is Memphis fucking
He's
here?
blocked. I blocked him.
Because somebody keeps on blocking him. No, somebody keeps on blocking him because he was just blocked on that account.
Yeah, this is honestly why I don't do VCs anymore. You want to know why I don't do VCs anymore? This right here. This is why I don't do it. I don't go in there because it got to be to the point where it wasn't fun anymore.
Bex, you always got a reason why you don't do some shit. God damn.
No, my thing about it is like this was all a collection of small things that like I could have trumped up to this like misunderstanding or like a bunch of stuff that I would have just brought to you, had a conversation with, and then squashed it because it was unimportant. But it led you have a tendency of fucking trying to find a middle ground where there isn't a middle ground. Like what Memphis did, there was no fucking middle ground. He needed to like be removed from the space. You being like, oh, we need to try to like, you trying to put yourself in the middle and draw like some reason for him to be here and play devil's advocate. That's the term I was looking for.
Did not play devil's
yeah, that came across as very, very fucked up.
Can we show Haifa to the nearest bridge, please? Thank you.
Do not defend Memphis.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So
It came across that way, is what I'm saying. Like it came across that way because what he did was incredibly fucked up. You had people explaining to Nick, like, yo, this person genuinely brings zero value. Like, we're bringing all of these arguments, and you're just like, yeah, but like, Effie also says mean stuff to me. Like, that's not, it feels not good.
I have a really good idea. Can you guys hear me?
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so what it comes down to is Carnage thought somebody was a friend. They thought he was a mutual. So, like, moving forward, just see all your people as mutuals and have no expectations out of them.
And I really don't like when you try to be peacekeeper and we're being messy.
Yeah,
I'm not being a peacekeeper. I'm saying, like, do you guys want to be friends or mutuals? Like, what's the end goal?
I don't think that was
Because this is kind of...
I'm indifferent either way.
I have a question though. Bex, when he approached you for those conversations, do you feel like you actually were receptive and like wanting to listen genuinely to his concerns about a racist action? Or something that he was concerned about? What? Sorry, what did she say?
I said I had a train. Hold on, I was trying not to have it in the background.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not. So there was times in VCs where I was very receptive to conversations. There is, like I've said, there is points where like after a long live, I don't necessarily want to talk about the live immediately after. And there was some times where I was like, I just don't want to have a conversation right now. And there's many reasons why, and it's fine. And like, if he felt like I wasn't being receptive to him wanting to have a conversation, that I apologize for you feeling that way and you taking it that way. But I'm pretty careful with like conversations and stuff with people because it's just how I do it. So maybe I should have tried to have a conversation.
I mean, pretty careful is loose because you definitely spilled some pretty personal shit to Siren when people warned you about Siren and that was posted, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like both of y'all have gotten defensive and at some point, and I think Bex, your response to him has been pretty, I don't necessarily want to go too dismissive, but like it has felt dismissive of he's bringing these concerns up to you, and it's been I'm tired because I just hosted a long live. Like,
right, yeah, because like 3 a.m. is not a great time to have like a deep conversation. You know what I mean?
Sorry, no. At 3 a.m., sure, I agree, but did you respond in a way of just like, hey, I am tired, I need to like take a beat, can we talk tomorrow? Or did you just blow him off?
It depends on the situation. Like sometimes I blow everybody off. Like sometimes I turn my phone on TNT after the live. But
I also want to point out that again, it was a very common practice for us to hang out for a bit after the live.
But I haven't done that for a very long time.
Yeah, we're not talking about like recent times. You haven't been going live like that in recent times.
Well, but this mental
like,
shit happened recently.
I reached out to you. I'd reach out and be like, yo, and then like I'd just be aired. And again, right, at the end of the day, right, you do you're an adult. I'm not gonna tell you how to fucking behave. I don't care enough to. But yeah, you can't say that you were not dismissive of the stuff that I was doing, because you were extremely dismissive. And you may have your reasons for that, and that's cool, but yeah.
So what did we learn?
Carnage. So did you have a thing for Bex at one point in time?
Oh wow. Oh no.
You're messy ass.
Nick, no.
You worse than me, Nick. Nick, you're literally worse.
No, because he heard tap into your inner joy and fucking sprinted.
Right, he's been running with it.
Anyway,
I mean, it
wanna
was
go
the
play video
question
games
we were
now.
all thinking that nobody wanted to ask. Am I wrong?
Oh,
Yeah, you're wrong because I didn't think that.
Literally, this is that like, yo.
no, that was Effie that had a secret back.
It seems like a thing that's going on in Bex's life. It seems like she has men who fall for her, and then she doesn't want them, and then they spiral out.
If Ethy liked me, I would be insulted. He likes, it seems like everybody that breathes in his direction. So like that's really like not even cute to say. I feel bad for you that you even have to say that. Sorry.
Man, I want to make food.
You want to walk and go get that hot dog.
You might as well get 3 after the day you had.
It is closed. Listen,
Carnage,
you don't even know.
You saw the TikTok that I sent you. Just buy that. Buy it.
You honestly, bro, you right. I know
I am God. When am I wrong? Besides when
I make like you showed that shit pops up in my notifications, and I was like, I was rubbing my chin. It's like definitely a cop.
By the way, it was
So,
like
like,
little
did you
toaster
think you
oven
were gonna be-
toasted hot dogs.
So, like, at a point in time, I think, like, you and Effie were competing to be, like, Bex's side piece, and neither one of you were going to win that.
Okay.
Listen, I was not competing with Effie at all. Like, I genuinely had, for like half of it, I had no beef with Effie. Like, literally the situation will go down like this, right? I would pop in to the fucking call, right? I'd be playing video games. He would come in, he would say something fucking dumb. I'd be like, yo, Effie, that's kind of dumb. And it would lead to a 2-hour discussion about how he's dumb.
That's not true. That's not true. Y'all waited for each other. There was days you would even ask me to message the other one so you could argue. For a while,
that was in the middle. That was in
what you're not gonna, because this is starting to get this slightly lying shit, like to like make, because there through this entire conversation there has been some like not quite truths happening. You and Ethy literally would ask for each other to want to argue about this shit. The fucking Kanye West shit, I stayed out of it. Y'all were loving that shit. Y'all went back and forth for fucking days. It has never been an issue till now.
No, I'm not mad that
So
I'm
was
not
that
telling
more
you
of a
to
tussle,
block.
bro?
I was not.
Bex,
What?
is that what you're saying?
It's not even like it.
It literally became a joke. I made memes in the Discord
Yes,
about it.
it was a joke. Making fun of Ethy was a joke. I don't. What are you talking about? I never.
What was it?
Like when we were talking about regular shit. When we were talking about regular shit, it was fine. It was when he was like, "Oh, you're not really a black person. You're full."
It's not the
like
full
that
lies,
type of
it's
shit
his
pissed me
narrative.
off, and that
It's
led
the
to me
narrative
yelling.
as if he would just come in the VC and Ethy would start with him and he would have to respond. No. Carnage
No, it never said that he
Carnage was
started with
usually
me.
the
I said he
first
would
one
say
in
some.
Carnage
I
was
am
usually the
incredibly
first one in the
specific. I'm
VC and the
incredibly
last one
particular
out.
with my
Yeah, I know
words.
we can't hear both of y'all at the same time, right?
I said he would come into the box. He would come into the fucking VC and say something dumb. I never said he started with me. He would say some dumb shit, and I would correct it, and that would lead to the argument. Meaning that I am the one starting the arguments most of the time. I literally admitted that.
Right. You
Like,
So
calm down. I'm
hang
not
on.
trying
So
to
this
explain
is
shit like
what
I'm
I
the
see.
bad,
Like
I'm the good guy here.
as a third party in this situation, this is what I see. Right. I feel like you and Ethy were competing for Bex's love. Neither one of you were going to admit it. You thought Ethy. You thought Ethy. Hang on. You thought Ethy was in the lead. You thought Ethy was in the lead, right?
Else.
All right. Well, we'll
Always
just put myself on
deflecting the
Showtime.
racism.
We'll just put me.
Yeah,
on
that's
Showtime.
fine.
That's fine. Yeah, I know, Ashley. You're ridiculous. So then, I think what happened after you guys were competing, right? I think you were a little upset that she seemed to favor Ethy over you, so that hurt your feelings. Then Bex and Ethy had their fallout. Your words were, "I followed her over here because we were friends." So now that Ethy was out of the picture, you thought you had a chance again, right? But then when she told you the other day you weren't even a friend, you realized there's no chance in hell. So now you're trying to cover it all up.
No.
Okay. They said
Got out of this.
what I said. Huh?
That's what you got out of this, Nick?
Nick will
That's
deflect
what I
any
got out of this.
conversation with racism.
That's what I got out of this.
Shut up.
Nick is being slow on purpose. And I want to clarify,
Carnage,
I came over
Carnage.
here.
Turn your fucking. 1 second, Mimi. Carnage, I just want to say it
You are being
because
trolled.
this conversation that we had with Bex, and then Officer came on the panel. We were having that conversation with Nick about Memphis, and then this whole thing happened. I hate the fact that she had 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because in that conversation, when we were discussing this with Nick, we were explaining to him that at the end of the day, yes, this is his panel, this is his live, and Memphis is harmful to the live. Outside of him being a racist piece of shit that does not add anything to the live, he comes on to literally say slurs and get the live taken down. And Bex's retaliation to that was immediately, oh, well, you know, if we take him down, then this whole list of people are going to start like piling up, and it happened to me in my life. And it's like, okay, I understand what you're saying, Bex, but we're talking about racist, harmful bigotry that adds nothing. Like, even with Haifa, who is just as bad in my opinion as Memphis, you can have a conversation. She could go 2 minutes, 3 minutes without saying a slur. Memphis comes up and just says slurs. And for some reason, that was like such a crazy concept to like grasp. I don't understand why like this has turned into what it was. And then to have Officer come up here and back it up, and then him literally go on Showtime to go to Nick to be like, what do you want me to do when racist people come on to the comments or the panel? And Nick stayed on silent, lets you know the type of time that Nick is on. He doesn't give a fuck about black people. Bex doesn't give a fuck about black
Nick
people.
used to say nigga, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we know
like
that, right?
my thing about it is
I'm just
like
we know
my
that,
thing
right?
about it is like during that conversation,
like we have to
there's
hold
certain
on,
things
Carnage. We have to remember where we are, like when we be saying shit. Like this is still Nick. I'm sorry, Nick. You still a white man. You say the nigga all the time to us black folks. Like we gotta remember where we at.
Right. No, Bonnie, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is like Bex is trying to act like she's like this exception for some reason. It's like, no, you are racist, and for some reason, she's
Bex
more
used
caught
to
up with
mask calling people leftists for saying black, right?
No, I didn't know that, but that's good information.
Wait. What did I do?
Yeah, earlier when that's why I originally did not like you, Bex, because you used to always be in these arguments, especially when you first came around Siren, all of them, these are leftists, all these people on the left, this is how they act, all these people on the left, when really you just talked about to a whole bunch of niggas. You really want to say all of these black people, but instead you said these leftists.
I would never say all these black people.
Okay, so you didn't understand what I just said. Okay.
Well, I did. So in the beginning, I did think I was dealing with like people who were more on the left, and things surprised me. And then like I clocked that and was like, all right, well, I'm wrong here. So and then
I clocked that they were just black.
It's got nothing to do with that. But I mean, I'm not going to win here.
Because I feel like I asked you myself, what was like, why do you consider us to be leftists, and you couldn't give us the answer. So it all kind of like dumbed down to we just black. So
it was more based on whose space people were in. But again, I mean, I'm not going to
Robert's life.
Right, I understand, and I'm not going to convince anybody otherwise. So that's, I mean, it's
okay.
It is what it is. But people are going to think what they think. I've never not claimed to be like problematic or like I do believe all white people are inherently racist. So therefore, I'm going to have inherently built-in racism that I have to unpack. It doesn't mean that I'm not willing to do that or not willing to deal with it. I just want to know like what I do and not like what other people do that I'm around for. What am I doing?
So, okay, but when conversations have been brought up in the past, do you think Carnage would be more comfortable to actually be clear as to what the problem is if you weren't dismissive at times? Like it only takes so many times for people who are black people to be like, oh, this person actually doesn't give a fuck. I don't want to actually keep explaining myself to this person.
Well, and that's fine, and I understand that, but there's also a point where it's like if I've had this conversation 3 or 4 times and every time it's someone else did something and you were present for it, there's going to be a point where it's like, yes, I understand other people are doing shit and it's either on my live in my Discord or I'm a mod, and that's going to be an issue every time, and I've accepted that.
I don't necessarily think it's about you being a mod. I mean, in your own live, yes, because that is your live. If you are
this time I was a mod though.
No, I know. I'm in my mind. It was specifically Carnage thought you were a friend. And you didn't speak up as to what the fuck was happening.
Right, but okay. So here's what's getting left out.
Hold on. Carnage, am I wrong with that assessment?
I would say what angered me in that situation,
motherfucker, just say yes.
Yes, just say yes or no.
I want to clarify. I want to clarify that it was the devil advocate type energy that you had to that conversation.
Right.
It wasn't even just that you didn't defend me. If you stayed on mute the whole time, I would have been pissed, but it would not been to this level of pissed. Right? It's the fact that you were like, wait, no, fuck this person. That's my friend. We need Memphis here. That's how it came across to me.
I did not ever say that. Stop saying it. Stop telling me I declared these people my friends.
The conversation was never construed that way, Carnage. Like you're just.
It was never. I never called Memphis my friend, and I never said.
I know that's not.
Yeah, but at this
what
point,
I'm saying
I really truly
is that
believe
is what
you
in
were
the
in love
heat of
with
the
Bex
moment.
and she broke your heart.
That is how it came across to me. No, listen. I've said this multiple times.
Can I say what I've been trying to say for 5 minutes? What's being left out of this is I've had this conversation with Carnage 3 or 4 times. Like, I had this conversation, and there became a point where it was like, I understand. I've heard this. My Discord runs like this. My live runs like this. It's been like this since before you were ever around. Like, we've all been here maintaining having these conversations, and now Carnage has an issue every time. And I understand that. But, like, you came into the space was what it was. Memphis is not in there. All these people were there. Thumb, Effie, all of them were there long before you were. And you came in and had a lot of issues. And I tried to address them. I tried to have this conversation with you over and over. I did. But aside from, like, from what I got of it, aside from me kicking all the people you didn't like, there was never an actual.
I never asked you. There were, again, my issue is that you were agreeing with some of the shit that they were saying, or you were like co-signing some of the actions, doing devil advocate shit.
Straight up lying right now, because I have never agreed with any of the racist shit any of these people have said.
I spoke about a situation where my friends and I were chilling in a neighborhood where my friend lives, and we were at a pool, and we were playing music, and we got kicked out. And I was pissed off about that situation, and I was pointing it out, and I was like, yo, they only kicked us out because we was black, because the white kids do the same shit we do, way louder than us, and they don't get into trouble. And your response was, what was it?
So in that conversation, because you're leaving the beginning out, we were talking about...
Sure, bring in the beginning.
We were talking about struggling and being poor and the struggles that came with that. And you talked about this. Hold on. And you brought up this conversation of where you guys got kicked out of a pool in a neighborhood because you were playing music too loud. And in that moment, in all of my frustration of being at the very end of the RV and everything, I got upset and was like, we're having a conversation about struggling. And you're bringing up the fact that you were at a pool with friends playing music and got kicked out. And you told me that I was like downplaying the racism for that conversation.
Yeah, because we were talking about something a bit more vague than that. It was way more open. It wasn't just poor struggling, because why would I bring myself up? I don't know shit about poor struggling. I've never been that, right? So I would not have participated in that fucking conversation.
But you did. Hypha was there.
You were talking.
You are spinning this.
That's the same conversation that we were talking about, like, racism that I experienced. And that's where Thumb was just like, you don't know nothing about racism. You never experienced it. And I was giving examples. And that was one of the examples I gave.
It was the only example.
And your response was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, poor people, poor people, poor people. And like, in my head, I was like, there's black poor people. We weren't just talking about that.
Okay, I will be honest. I would have if we're going to talk about things, that are frustrating, I definitely regularly remember. Like, I tried to talk a lot about like poor shit, and it was like not a constructive conversation. And I was frustrated several times, but I just processed my own emotions and didn't let it build up into a resentment against you.
Carnage, it kind of sounded when you were talking, like Bex was talking about how like horrible and like her struggles, and here you come.
You were not there, Haifa.
I was there. I was there.
You were not there.
Yes, I was, Carnage. There. Don't fucking lie.
No, you weren't.
One lie was there. And Carnage, you
Haifa was not there.
Yes, I was. You came up with your
VC or alive?
Your first
this
world
was a VC.
Problems. You were kicked out of a pool. When people are actually struggling in life, and your struggles that you're kicked out of a fucking pool, like, get real. There are people starving, Carnage. Be grateful for the life you have.
So he can't be mad about racism.
He was
not, bro. That's the thing. That was why I was pissed. I was pissed at the fact that, like, yo, here is a problem, right? I can't be like, yeah, man, the white man took my last loaf of bread, because I don't live like that, right? I don't fucking know that struggle. I'm talking about shit that I directly experienced, and it's like, yeah, this fucking sucks to live in a neighborhood where like you don't feel welcome because there's a different set of rules to you than the white people in the fucking room.
So move.
And shut the fuck up, Haifa. And for it to just be boiled down to like, oh, you got kicked out of a pool, like that's pretty frustrating. That'll fucking do it.
You were kicked out of a pool. Like, what struggle is that?
Oh, please. please.
No,
High
but
five.
okay, do you realize
And
how
then in that moment, you
privileged
just
you
wanted to
are?
vent
How
about.
privileged you are to even be able to have access to a pool?
Was this VC
It was
a?
VC, yes, it was.
But was it strictly we just going to talk about poor people, or was everyone just chilling
No, but
talking about
it was
shit?
like literally like the last week of the RV, and everybody knew I had made it so clear that my mental health was not good and that I was struggling and that like I just needed like some space to vent, and it was not a good moment, and
I don't even think that's what that was. I think you're
was.
remembering something different from me
No,
because I
I
remember
know
this conversation kicked off
exactly. I know
because this
because
conversation
I
kicked off because
knew
I
this
was
was gonna
yelling
come up.
at
I was
for some
waiting for
dumb
this to
shit.
come up.
Go ahead.
Okay, do you feel good lying on people, Carnage?
Wait, hold on. I think I actually see the issue here. So I'm gonna take some accountability on a part of this. So I have told Bex many times. Well, so for one, on panels when there are people that are saying problematic shit, like I'm a black man, I'm always in the panels. I actually don't want Bex to say anything because I'm gonna argue it. 'Cause I'm on the panel, and if it's not me, it's Johnny. If it's not Johnny, it's Tony Mack. Right? There are Bex's space actually held a pretty good amount of black males, specifically, and some black women that would argue the points of these people. And I've had this conversation with Bex before. This is maybe a difference in thought. If there's black people around, I actually don't think we need white people to speak up for us. We can handle it. We're not infants. We can speak up for ourselves. Like we're strong, and there's enough of us on the panel that it's not going to slide. So like she should be quiet. And also, she's the host. I don't need her to talk. We'll talk. While we're on the fucking panel. When it comes to the VC stuff, though, and like I'm gonna take the heat for this too. My advice to Bex was like either Carnage can hang or he can get the fuck out. I hate to say that. Like at the end of the day, you joined a VC. You joined Bex's in general space with the understanding that she's problematic in general, and you came to find out, right? And you also knew that people that were in that space were also problematic, and you came to find out. I remember this conversation, and so like when it came to that, I remember Bex being, "Well, what do I do?" And it's like, "Well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna kick Effie out? Like, what are you gonna do about that?" Either Carnage, if you believe white people are racist, if white people are indeed problematic, because you guys are fucking wild, and if Carnage believes that white people are racist, then like get tough or get out. I don't know what you really want. It's a debate server. It's not like anybody straight up was just like, yo, like we should start burning you in, like start burning like black people in fucking ovens. You know what I mean? But they said problematic shit that was offensive, and I get it. So some of this is on me. Like I did tell Bex to shut up, and I did tell Bex like at the end of the day, like it is like the Discord is going to be a little problematic and offensive. That's the nature of conversation, especially people you disagree with. So unless you're prepared to go the step of banning people, which is where that's going to go, because you can't stop the conversation, then like people have to deal with their own shit. I don't like everything Effie or Bleach or anybody else said either with thumb thugging, but I just call them the fucking moron, put information in their face, and move on with my day. Like it's just that easy. So this is my fault. I don't know. That's the timeline I'm getting.
Yeah, my
I don't know
my
because
situation
also,
with this whole thing
well, hold
is
on real
again
quick,
that I
Carnage.
have different expectations from a random than I do a friend, right? Like if somebody came up and was talking hella shit about somebody that's my friend, I'm gonna be like, yo. If like someone actively came up on a panel to do some shit to affect my friend, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like stop with that shit, right? Even if we're not even like close. If I call that person friend, I don't want any bad shit happening to them. Like that, like if I'm there and I can stop it and I can prevent it, I will do that. But again, that's just me. Maybe I'm on a different wavelength than other people.
But again though, I've been
That's
listening to
maybe
this
that's the
like
case. Maybe that's the
but
case.
we've been doing this now for like an hour and a half, and you haven't cited one thing directly that Bex did that was racist. Only that there was things in proximity that she didn't speak on. One of those, the thing you're actually mad about, she's so for. I wasn't even here for that. Now the other stuff with Effie or whatever you were upset about, again, I'm just gonna ask a really direct question. What did you want her resolution to be for your complaint? Because she's even said, I internalized it, I heard it so many fucking times, I was like, I heard it, right? What did you want her to do about it? Because she even said I talked to Effie before about it. So what did you want her to do about it?
No, okay. The issue that I was having was how I felt like I would try to bring up something, and it would be I would try to bring up something and it would either fall on deaf ears or it not necessarily fall on deaf ears, that's the wrong wording. I would just get hand waved. And I understand that there's a bunch of reasons shit got hand waved. I'm not even necessarily mad. And it's more of a case of like I would have a situation and be like, this is the situation I'd like to discuss, I'd like to bring this up. It would never get rectified and the behavior would continue.